With the success of Henry Cavill's Netflix Witcher series and confirmation of a Fallout TV show in development for Amazon, we thought it was high time we had a look at video game success stories within the TV space, and also some not so successful stories too. And yes, we know The Witcher is based on a series of books and not the video game, but the two are intrinsically linked, and arguably without the video game first raising awareness for the novels, we wouldn't have got the TV show in the first place, so there. Anyway, we're going to look at some TV shows based on video games today, so let's look at some! I'm Ben from TripleJump, and here are 10 interesting TV shows based on video games. Number 10. Castlevania. Castlevania is one of the most enduring franchises in gaming, beginning way back in 1986, so it's wonderful to see a Netflix adaptation do that legacy justice. Opting for an anime style rather than live action helps the show capture the brooding gothic tone of the games perfectly while still keeping enough dark humour to avoid being too droll. Castlevania even satisfies the harshest of critics, the fans, by staying faithful to the source material while throwing in enough surprises to keep things interesting. The plot is a loose adaptation of 1989's Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, technically a prequel to the first game, where monster hunter Trevor Belmont takes on the infamous Count Dracula. You remember him, right? The guy who does the arithmetic and loves cereal. Yeah. Dracula's understandably a bit miffed that humans burned his wife at the stake, and so he vows to wipe out humanity. So, as is tradition, only a cool dude with a whip can stop him. The strong voice cast includes the Hobbit stars Richard Armitage and Graham McTavish playing Mr. Belmont and Dracula respectively, plus Battlestar Galactica's James Callis playing Dracula's son Alucard. Just make sure you've got your extra 50s worth of garlic before you tuck into this, yeah? Number 9. Earthworm Jim. I love a good run and gun shooter, who doesn't? But the problem is that it's been done to death and there's never a… Hang on, is that worm wearing a mech suit? Earthworm Jim is a very weird character, being a literal worm that got landed on by a giant mech suit that also apparently grants him sentience, strength, intelligence, and… human teeth? Ah! He now has to fight off the swathes of enemies all gunning, funnily enough, for the magical suit to use for their own nefarious schemes. The series was very successful through its first 2 games, with follow-ups Earthworm Jim 3D and Menace to the Galaxy being commercial and critical failures. The television series itself was very popular, released around the same time as the second game and following the same betoothed earthworm through a series of what would normally be considered mundane tasks, such as returning his neighbour's egg whisk, getting more power for his supersuit, restoring a monarchy after a hostile takeover, and eating dirt. Eating a lot of dirt, actually. Number 8. Sonic Boom. Oh, Sonic Boom. What did you do? Differentiated from its TV adaptation via the subtitle Rise of Lyric, Sonic Boom was released for the Wii U in 2014 to less than stellar reviews. Apparently designed to appeal more to Western audiences, which seemingly meant putting rad bandages on everything, the development of the game ran parallel to the creation of the television series as well as merchandising in order to maximize profit for this game that there was no doubt was going to be very successful. The game was released without any early review copies, which is always a good sign, and was instantly lambasted by players and reviewers alike for its unpolished appearance and shed load of glitches. The television series, on the other hand, is actually quite good, especially when compared to the game. Witty, with self-referential humour and constant fourth wall breaking about game development, the Sonic franchise, and general video game tropes.
There is a certain princess in a castle I'd like to meet.
Running for 2 seasons with over 100 episodes, there is a lot of Sonic-y goodness to check out. Number 7. You Don't Know Jack. The only non-fiction entry on this list, You Don't Know Jack was an American TV series that ran for 6 episodes in 2001, based on the original 1995 adult trivia quiz PC game You Don't Know Jack, which I will now shorten to Yudukage for convenience sake. With post-1991 scandal Paul Rubin playing fictional host Troy Stevens, the game show was your typical answer questions for cash prizes and the predictable brand new car, trying to be jokey but still doing exactly what it was pointing out, like a bad self-referential fetch quest. The set design and host try to keep the same irreverent humour as the video game, with conveyor belts built into the floor, question cards mimicking the ones you'd see on screen, and Rubens making a variety of interesting faces. But it ultimately failed to get picked up for another series, and was left behind as a bizarre relic to be watched with this face. Two can play at that game, Rubens. Meanwhile, the Yudukaja series continues to be a powerhouse, updating with modern technology to involve phone and computer interactivity, allowing you to play alongside a variety of people from all over the world. Number 6. STEINS Gate. STEINS Gate is the second game in the visual novel video game series Science Adventure and sequel to the Chaos Head, which sounds like Pyramid Head's younger brother if he was straight edge. The game itself follows mad scientist Okabe, otherwise known as his pseudonym Kiyuma, and the members of his creatively named Future Gadget Laboratory as they discover that he has accidentally invented a time machine in his attempt to make a portable microwave, and he started receiving text messages from the past. The 24-episode anime follows a similar storyline to both the video game and manga. Created by animation studio White Fox and released in 2011, the series was well received by critics and was followed up in 2018 by an adaptation of the game's sequel, Steins Gate Zero. Number 5. Super Mario Bros. Super Show. It would be an exercise in futility to explain what Mario is, considering that it is the most successful video game franchise of all time, so let's just talk about the show, okay? Based upon Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show was a variety program showing animated Mario stories as well as episodes of The Legend of Zelda with linking live-action segments. These live-action segments involved real-life video game character cameos, including Mario and Luigi and Inspector Gadget, with a variety of guest stars including Beverly Hillbillies actress Donna Douglas, Brady Bunch's Eve Plum, and basketball player Magic Johnson. While trying to separate Mario from Charles Martinet's upbeat Italian voice is pretty much impossible, it's easy to forget that before 1992 he was described as an Italian-American plumber from Brooklyn and sounded as such, lest we forget the mistakes of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. This is very surreal to hear today, a bit like Postman Pat talking in a thick Brummy accent. Professional wrestler Lou Albano portrayed the live-action Mario in the Super Show, which does actually make sense, because if this version of Mario jumped on you like his pixel counterpart, you would also die. In addition, he voiced the animated equivalent in the cartoon sections. So was Mario in the animated segments separate from the live-action Mario? Was the live-action Mario the real Mario who just voice-acted the adventures? There's just too many questions, and I'm glad it was cancelled. Number 4. Digimon. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. Change into digital. Anyway, based upon the success of the Tamagotchi, which they for some reason considered for girls, Digimon started off in 1998 as pocket virtual pets inside a small handheld device where you could feed and generally care for your little digital monster. But what makes that in any way different from a Tamagotchi? Easy, it's for boys and you make it fight. Taking the Pokémon route, you were able to connect with friends and battle each other's Digimons, with this then inspiring the development of a full-on Digimon fighting game the very next year. In 1999, the Digimon franchise became an animated series following the same premise, with the main characters having Digimon pre-programmed to bond to them. Which I don't know if that's better or worse than capturing Pokémon in balls, and I don't want to think about it. The series had an initial run of 5 seasons between 1999 and 2007 before getting a reboot in 2010 with series names such as Data Squad, Adventure Try, and Digimon Universe App Monsters, and has had 16 feature-length movie releases, with the latest released in February 2020. Number 3. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? The Carmen Sandiego franchise started its life as the educational mystery game Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, focused on teaching children about the wonders of geography through the good old-fashioned teaching device of international espionage. Players had to help track down elite cat burglar Carmen Sandiego across the world in order to steal back various precious treasures. The series continues to go strong at 18 games and counting, including various titles where she goes to America, Europe, the past, and space! Jesus, this woman can do anything! Carmen has also had a live-action quiz show, internet browser games, and a new animated reboot broadcast in January 2019. This Netflix series, just titled Carmen Sandiego because we're cool and we do short titles now, and rad hat by the way, reimagines the prolific jewel and artifact thief as a reverse Indiana Jones, returning stolen treasure back to where it's from because it doesn't belong in a museum. A 3rd season is due to come to Netflix in the near future. Number 2. Donkey Kong Country. The Wikipedia page for this series says that it's loosely based on the Donkey Kong series of games, which I think is a subtle attempt at distancing those games from this. I'm sorry, but we're not going to let you get away with pretending this didn't happen. A Canadian-French production by Nelvana Limited for Season 1 and Hongguan Animation for Season 2, the series ran between 1997 and 2000. With slick, smooth character models and eyeballs stolen from Marty Feldman, these episodes mainly revolved around the adventures of the DK crew on the Paradise Isle of Congo Bongo Island, which sounds and feels problematic to say. The catalyst for the series is when the eponymous Mr. Kong finds a crystal coconut that is able to grant him anything he wishes. Give me a magical 50p any day. This show has been resurrected many times over for numerous top 10 worst lists, so we won't let the corpse fester any longer than it needs to. Fill her in, boys! Number 1. Pokémon. As the third best-selling video game franchise in history, it's unsurprising to see Ash and his friends sitting pretty at the top of our list. Pokémon, short for Pokéto Monsu or Pocket Monsters in English, started its life as a franchise in 1996 with the release of Pokémon Red and Green for the original Game Boy, inspired by creator Satoshi Tajiri's childhood love of bug collecting. A quarter of a century later, and the franchise has over 30 main series games, including all versions that is, 23 movies, a trading card game, merchandise out the wazoo, and enough Poké plushies to collectively smother everyone watching this video. The show itself follows Ash Ketchum as he attempts to be the very best Pokémon trainer in the world like no one ever was. Setting off from his home village of Pallet Town in 1997, Ash has travelled the length and breadth of 6 regions, has had over 16 companions, and has yet to reach his 11th birthday. Something tells me time is broken in this universe. Either way, he finally climbed the summit and became League Champion in 2019. About time too. And that's our list. Do you have any favourite TV shows based on video games? Be sure to shout them in the comments below. You can follow myself and TripleJump on Twitter here, and while you're at it, why not support the things you enjoy by having a look at our Patreon. Finally, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I'm Ben from TripleJump, and thanks for watching.